begin with, I mean, first 2 starts at international level against the British and Irish Lions. How have you found just stepping up to this sort of new level?
Yeah, I mean, it's I didn't quite expect it, to be honest, but it's been great. Honestly, the boys around me and the team have been great, and it sort of felt like a seamless transition, really. They've given me a lot of confidence, and so has Joe. So it was all about going out there and just doing my role as a 10, and just trying to win the game for the boys.
You had those taste of international test minutes last year. Now that you're sort of first choice, controlling the game a bit more, what do you notice are sort of the biggest differences from those sort of short tastes? Now you're playing, the best of 4 nations.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you get a lot more time on the field, so you can dictate the game a lot more. When you come off the bench, you've got to sort of understand what role you've got to play and how the game is at that point. So you have a lot more control in dictating the game.
As a half, when you're sort of flowing like you are in the first 35 minutes, can you just describe that for them to us? When everything is starting to click and you're sort of seeing all the growth come together and that sort of goes glory.
Yeah, it's great when you get those periods of 10 minutes. You score 3 tries, but we let them in with two quick tries straight after that, and all that hard work you've done is sort of just all gone after that. So hopefully we can piece together more than 10 minutes next time and make it a full 80.
Tom, the pressure of being the starting fly half for the Wallabies, a lot of challenges on the field and off the field as well, especially during the Lions series. How have you managed that, the pressure and expectation off the field? Yeah,
look, I've just treated it like any other normal week, really. Just take it one week at a time and look at the task ahead of you, whether it's training or the game on the weekend. So just taking it one step at a time, staying tight with the group and just having conversations with them and asking for their advice and all that sort of stuff.
Your partnership with Jake, obviously 2 games in there. How do you think that's going?
Yeah, great. I've enjoyed playing with Jake. It's a change to the style of Tate, but I enjoy playing with both of them. I thought Jake had a great game on Saturday, and I've enjoyed playing next to him.
Do you wish you had more experience in that starting role? Maybe had more of a lead up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, having experience before the Lions series would have been great, but I didn't get the opportunity to do so. So I guess we'll never find out. But like I said, take it one week at a time.
Tom, take us through just that relationship with Joe Smith. Obviously, he has great confidence in you to give you that start in one of the biggest games in this country. How's that relationship been for you in terms of his confidence?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, being selected as 10 sort of just tells you everything you need to know, really, that he's got the trust and belief in you. So that's all I've taken from it, really. He's always had that confidence in me ever since I joined the camp for the first time last year. So it's been really good, and he's been really positive around everything.
Do you have confidence that that's something you can build, being in that starting role as a 10 further in this Lions series? Is that something you're striving for? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, more time in that seat. The jersey's only yours for the week if you're selected. So you just got to go out there and do your job and do your role and put a performance in.
It seemed a lot like neutral sports fans pretty inspired by the Wallabies, despite the result the other day. This game this weekend, how motivating is it to put a performance out there that once again captures the sporting fans around this country and gets them to talk about rugby again?
So I thought you were talking to him. Awesome opportunity. I think even the turnout at the G was awesome, over 90,000, and we're training really hard during this week, and we want to put a performance in come Saturday.
Jeremy, obviously, you've been in the squad with Joe for a bit longer period of time. Obviously, everyone's been talking about how good that first half was and how switched on you guys were, how free flowing everything was. In terms of kind of that level that you guys want to get to, where does that kind of sit, particularly compared to all last year with Spring Tour, Rugby Championship, the growth you've kind of had since Joe's come in?
Yeah, I think you've probably seen a lot of growth since Joe's come in, and we want to reach our potential, and I think in patches on the game on the weekend, we're really good, and then there's still always opportunities that we could have taken. So it's just about building that each week and getting better and making sure that we're taking those opportunities more often.
Tom, you're facing one of the best out halves of the moment, in amazing form. Is there anything you're taking out of playing opposite him? And I know obviously you spent a bit of time after the games just having a yarn. Is there anything you're taking out of that time spent also?
Yeah, look, that's probably something I'll do after this series. We're playing in different systems, different teams, but obviously watching him growing up and now getting the opportunity to play against him is pretty special. And I'm forever grateful that I've got the opportunity to do that. But look, we got one more game against him this week, and we'll go from there.
Jeremy, can I just ask from a forward perspective? I mean, the difference that someone like having Rob and Will Skelton back around a group, like we saw on Saturday, but what confidence does it give you when you're coming off the bench or starting either role to have those guys as the dominant ball carriers in the way they work?
Yeah, I think you just have to watch them and how they played on the weekend, and they were immense for the team, and it was awesome to have them back, out there and doing their thing. So, creates great competition in the group, and that's what we want. And to get those guys back out there and playing really well, it's just going to make the team go better.
Can I just ask about Alan Altoa out with shoulder injury? Like, how crucial and integral is he to this group?
Oh, he's massive. He's a massive part of the group, and you just see the work he puts in on the field and off the field as well. So, he's a massive part of the group, and we just wish him the best in his recovery, and hopefully he'll be back out there soon.
Jeremy, having Aidan Ross come into the squad, former All Black, now he's in Wallabies camp. What are your first impressions of him and what he's done in training this week?
Yeah, firstly, he's a great bloke, and he trains really hard. He's been in a few different systems now, so I'm sure he's going to add a lot of value to the group, and he's been going really hard. So yeah, it's great to have him.
Jeremy, is the grieving process done? I mean, Hoops was saying something like you need 48 hours just to get it out of your system. How's that been within the camp, just the mood, because obviously what you guys went through?
Yeah, I think tough loss on Saturday, and we were quite devastated. But we've got another Test match coming up this weekend, and it's Tuesday now, so all of our focus is on the game come Saturday, and we trained really well, and we're just making sure that we can fix a few little things and come out firing come Saturday.
How are you assessing it's just been in the deep end, but how are you personally assessing your performance over this Lions series? Like, what have you been really pleased with, or maybe things that you're really keen to get better at?
Look, I think I've done all right. I'm a bit disappointed in my goal kicking so far. I feel like that's let myself and the team down a bit. But look, in terms of the rest of it, it's been good. I mean, just playing part of the system, and again, like I've said, just trying to do my role for the team and not overplay my hand.
Tom, what would it mean to you if you could finish the series on a high? I mean, the series is gone, but what would a win on Saturday mean to this group?
Yeah, it would mean a lot for all of us and everyone that supported us throughout the series so far. We put in a good performance last week, and hopefully we can try and do the same and get the result in the end. We know there's a lot of people supporting us and a lot of people coming out to the game, so we just like to try and give them something back.
What's the balance been between knowing like the Lions is the pinnacle in so many ways, but we've also heard Joe talk about you're on the journey, the rugby championships around the corner. Are you thinking about that?
No, not at all. Like I said, I'll take things 1 week at a time, and I'm sure the rest of the group do the same too. So take care of this game on the weekend, and then we'll go from there.
Tom, Alan Gilpin from World Rugby has today said they're going to have an investigation into the Jack Morgan clear out at the end of the game, but they're not going to make the results of that investigation public. Do you think it would actually help if they did make it public, and that way we'd all know and we'd all understand what is legal and what isn't legal? Because there seems to be a huge confusion as to, as to what people are thinking is a law of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a little bit of a grey area there, but refs made his decision, and that's final. We can't go back on it now.
Oh, no, but I mean, going forward, do you think it would not help if they actually said, this is the result of the investigation, and going forward, this will be a penalty or this will not be a penalty? It's a complicated enough game. Does the public need some help?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be good for the public to know the final result. That again, it isn't unfortunately it doesn't change the result of the fixture last Saturday. So yeah.
Tommy, you're much of a meteorologist. You've been checking the weather this week, and how much would rain influence the style of play come Saturday?
Yeah, look, we thought it would rain in Melbourne. It was predicted the whole week, and even on the day and a couple of hours before, leading up to the game, said it was going to rain, and then it didn't. So, you know, there's, you can prepare for things, but if they don't happen, then, you know, just play like the way we've been training.
Tom, are you able to utilise, I mean, not just the sport within this team, but have you been in touch with your family, you know, your brother obviously, pro player, your father, have you been able to lean on them just going into this final game, just given what it means?
Yeah, Dad's been out here actually, and I've seen him quite a few times, which has been really nice. And yeah, my family back at home in London, they're all there, they're all on holiday, so they're enjoying their time off and watching the games. But you know, we shared lots of messages over the last couple of weeks, and they've been very supportive from back over there.
Having seen them now a couple of times, are you confident you've got what it takes to beat them in this third game?
Yeah, well, look, we led for pretty much 79 minutes in the last game, and you know, lost it in the 80th. So that's footy for you. But yeah, like we can take plenty of confidence from that game last week, and even the second half in the first test. You can take plenty of confidence from that. So again, we just got to get together and put a performance on Saturday.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Thanks,